Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to another episode of the Road to Nowhere podcast. This is episode 32, I believe. Man, we've
I don't know.
been gone for a while, man. Like a long time, and it's yours truly's own fault. Um, it's been a bit since we last did an episode, and part of that, like I said, was because I've been a lazy little shit. No, I've just been kind of recovering from a multitude of different things. Jacked up my knee twice. I got sick. See what else has happened. Yeah, it's been a fun few weeks since we last did an episode. But yeah, there's been some things that have actually happened in the world that I want to talk about with you guys and of course with Jimmy. And so yeah, here we are. We're back. Whether this is going to become a recurring thing again, I'll be brutally honest, I don't know. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
us to go back to that where I'm doing shows every week, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
Anywho, um, I'm just gonna throw it right to you, dude, because I kind of already know what you want to talk about. So
Okay.
yeah,
So for me and my issues, I'm the same. I'm getting over a cold and stuff. I've gone into the Discord and tried to do this podcast the last couple of weeks, but at the same time, I wasn't pressing it too much because I was feeling under the weather too. So I wasn't mad at the fact that you weren't on. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that being said, I apologize to the guys who like to, or the crowd that likes to come in and watch. Not guys, but everyone. Um, Thank you for joining us and tuning in and stuff. The thing I wanted to bring up today, like we like to discuss video games and different life events if there's stuff happening. Like Extreme said, there is stuff that is happening that he wants to go over. One of the things that happened to me this week, not happened to me, but I was involved in, is I got the Skull and Bones 8 hour full game access beta thing, and I was playing it, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So if y'all are interested, hang tight with me because I promise you there's going to be a little bit of personal opinions versus actuality. Um,
And by the way, just so everybody knows, I have not played the beta. I have no intentions of playing the game, but I will give my mild first impressions after he's
Word, word. So, this being said, the game starts off. You're a pirate on a ship and you get stranded. You're a captain. You have to get a new ship, right? Cool. That's the moral of the story. And as the game goes on, your ship gets better depending on your reputation to the area. Um, the thing about that is that your ship does get better, so that's really neat. Um, you're out on the open water, and the graphics they look amazing. The game has been in the works for the past 11 years, so the fact that they finally got it live, that I mean, thank you. Um, they put all this time and effort into the way the graphics look and the way that it plays out. Like they did a phenomenal job, in my opinion. I think it's great. But my gripe is that when you're on your boat, you have three camera angles, and that's it. You have your first person view of you at the helm, and you're steering your boat. On that is fun. That's amazing. It made me have this huge desire to go out and go fishing. So in fact, I did, and that's why this is all plugged up and congested now. Great, yay me! But I caught fish and had an amazing dinner. Camera angle number two. Excuse me. Camera angle number two was your standard third person view of the whole ship on the water. Makes it easier to steer, makes it easier to control. That was great. Right on. That's fun. Excuse me. Camera angle number three is that you're in the crow's nest. And when you're up in the crow's nest, all you see is this person leaning off the side of the boat. Terrible camera angle, terrible, terrible thing to have in that part of the game. It's not real high, and you don't get to see very much at all. So that's a pointless thing. The other two camera angles, though, serve a purpose, and they're actually pretty nice. I like it. I had fun with it. The battle scenes is you're in your ship shooting another ship with cannons. That's it. There's no pistols, well, except for when you switch to muskets. Um, but you don't really have the say in that. Like that's more of just like the cannons. The ship's too close, so you're automatically transferred over to muskets. Um, the on the island running around doing stuff is your that's the only time you're a character. Every other time you're a boat. And when I was playing, I had to sail hella far away from port to fight ships, do tasks, grind out materials, and there's no fast port back to island. That's my biggest gripe. There's no fast porting. If they put in a thing like Diablo, where you could just hit down on your D-pad and pick a port you want to go to, um, this game would have had more success, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to do very well. Everybody I've talked to and everything I've looked at said, yeah, it's cool, it looks great, but I think I'd rather go play Sea of Thieves. And the whole reason behind that is because Sea of Thieves is a lot more human interaction. You're a lot more of the I'm going out and killing things with my own hands instead of on a boat. The Skull and Bones is very boat only oriented, with the exception of when you're in town, not doing anything like that. So, um, yeah, my personal opinion is Skull and Bones looks rad, but it is very tedious. It's very big, and the only fast travel is port to port, and you have to be at a port to fast travel to another port. You can't do it from out in the middle of the ocean that I was able to do anyway. There is multiplayer. Not a lot of people team up to play multiplayer, so you have to go in pre-partied. There's this big thing on the when the game was being announced of just send out a signal and people will come help you. No, No, they won't. Like, I don't know if it's because there's lack of people playing the game or the ability to link up is harder, but getting in a social group was very difficult to do as well. But the graphics were way better than Sea of Thieves, in my personal opinion. But the game was tedious, again, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, that's about all I got on that extreme. I told you that I wanted to talk about it, and I was curious with your initial just investigating of the game, what you came up with, sight wise, visual. If you thought the gameplay was good, bad. If you'd heard anything of how, like what I was saying, on the going town to town, that kind of stuff.
So my research consisted of watching 2 YouTube videos, and I'll be brutally honest. After about halfway through the first video, which the first video was only about 5 minutes, I clicked off it because the person was annoying. Um, the second video I watched, yeah, even if it wasn't like, I believe it's an Xbox exclusive game. I may be
No,
wrong.
I was playing on PC. Roy was playing on PlayStation.
Okay. It just gives me vibes of like that game that you were talking about that is an Xbox exclusive, and that game has never looked appealing to me. I'm not a big fan of the whole pirate, ship, all that stuff. I like you know this. I like shooters. I like first person games. I like action games. I like games that you can jump into right away and you're doing something of value, either for the story or you know for your progression. And again, what I saw, it no, it's like it's one of those games that it's like Minecraft. You got to be in for a very long haul of progression, and it's like
Yeah.
fuck that, man. Like I already invest enough time into video games that have that kind of a grind to them. After you get to the end game level, I don't need a game that starts that way. Like fuck that. So as
Right,
far as
right.
I was concerned, there's nothing about the game that I thought was entertaining. And in the second video I watched, toward the end, the guy made the comparison very bluntly. This feels like that Assassin's Creed game, and as he's talking about it, he's got video of it, putting comparisons side by side of several things, and I'm all, well, if it had Assassin's Creed elements to it, I'd probably be more interested. But the fact that it's basically just pirates, yar, it's like, no, man. We have a game that's out, it's exclusive on one platform. There's a reason why it's exclusive on Xbox. It's not going to work on other platforms. I don't think you're going to find an audience. And you said it yourself. There really hasn't been anyone playing the game, even though it was a like essentially. I wouldn't say it was an open beta, but like if you had access to it, you play it. There still
Yeah.
was zero interest. Like they're advertising the fuck out of this game. No one's into it because it's coming out. All this stuff is happening right as games that people are excited for are coming out at the exact same time. Like actually full releases, not a demo, not a beta.
Yeah. Well,
So
this is
yeah,
being released
that
full
didn't help.
release. And that's the thing is it is being released full release. It is the full release game that was offered as the beta. The
Mhm.
thing is that it was an 8 hour only, where everybody else who bought it could play during the same 8 hours. You just have access to the full game, and well, so did I. It doesn't end at the end of 8 hours, where mine ends. And then if I decide, oh, I like this, I'm gonna buy it. All my stuff would have just transferred over to my purchase, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't have
I
had to
mean,
start over.
see, like I said, teach their own. It didn't look like a game I was interested in. It's not a game, excuse me, that I would advertise or play. Um, just because it's like, nah, it
Yeah.
had limit from what I saw, very limited functionality. Um, as far as the hooking up with other people, I mean, I play 80% of the video games I play solo. So for me,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been too big of an issue. It just seemed like it was too much of a slog from the start.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I've played games like that, but they have a really captivating story. So I'm okay with that because you're playing more for the story and not the progression. That's not this game. From what I saw, again, very limited, very controlled from what I saw. It still felt like this is in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. And I don't know
Well, there
anybody.
was.
Maybe you would probably maybe get into it, but
I got into it
clearly
for
not.
about. I got into it for about 4 to 6 hours, and then I'm like, and
Nope.
much.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Like I said, it
kind
would
of
have been more fun if I could have just said, "All right, I'm 6,000 miles from port. I don't want to be. Do I spend the 8 minutes to sail back to port, depending on the wind? It could be 12 minutes, or do I just fast travel back to port? If I could fast travel back to port, that game would be a different story.
yeah,
Like I had to go get my kids from school, and I'm like, fuck, all right, I gotta sail all the way back. All right, I guess I need to go back now just so I can save my progress and not,
yeah.
worry about it.
That's a little extreme. That's that's an unreal expectation by the developers that people have that kind of free time. And the reality is, this is definitely not a game they're making for casual gamers. They're making this for the YouTubers. It just by that one stance alone. They're making it for people who are streaming the game, who are going to dedicate more than an hour or two a day playing it.
Right.
And that's not realistic. I mean, if you're trying to make money, which you're in the video game industry, yes, you're trying to create a fun story and all that stuff. The artistic element is there, but it's a business. And if you're literally segmenting the bulk of your audience because you want this to be something people stream, that you're guaranteed to fail. I've seen it happen before with other games that were pushed, Outlanders, whatever the fuck it was called, Outriders, the EA's, their version of Destiny. These games were never intended to succeed. They were just intended to be a huge cash grab. At least that's how it feels now. And they failed miserably because they were intended to be streamed. They were intended to be watched by someone who's grinding the crap out of the game, who has the free time to do that. That's not everyone wants to watch the game. They want to play it too. And yeah, like I don't know how to explain. I like to watch individuals play Among Us because it's always a group of people and it's fun to watch. It's entertaining. I can't play that game for two reasons. One, I'm not going to play on PC, and two, I don't have that many friends that play that game or would want to play that game. It's fine. I still watch
Yeah.
it for entertainment value. But there are games like Destiny, Warframe, Call of Duty Zombies. I don't want to watch people play those. I want to play them. So
Right.
that's the thing. Like if you're trying to make the game for people to watch, it still needs to be playable for those that want to play it. And that's one thing that I've always kind of been against. Any game that makes me feel like this is something I don't want to play and I don't want to watch, I just move on from it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Unfortunately, like I said, very limited. I I wasn't really putting much effort into it. I won't lie. I once you told me the game, I was like, oh yeah,
Okay. Yeah. No, I got
yeah.
you. See, but when it comes to this game, there was a couple of things that I saw the fact that it is cross-platform, I like that. The fact that I could party up and do stuff, I liked that. The fact that your ship can be upgraded, I liked that. The fact that there were different types of cannons. So they had your standard cannon, they had the long gun, they had the cluster cannon. They had a dynamite kind of cannon. So like you're shooting these things, little cannonballs that explode. Like there's all these things that are actually pretty decent, pretty cool. But again, I go back to the graphics really. Like I enjoyed the crap out of the graphics of this game. The ocean looked great. The boat looked great. The fact that you go in first person view and you're looking at the deck of your boat looked great. I would say that the character customization part was seriously lacking. Um, and the fact that, again, it was very tedious is seriously lacking. But you could customize your boat. There was microtransactions to where you can do cosmetics on your
Oh yeah.
boat. That was pretty cool.
You know the feeling
Um,
though.
right. And you didn't have to stick with your typical pirate like logo. There's different logos that you can choose from. Those were cool. Your sails on your ship, you can change the colors of those. That was cool. Um, on my stream right now, like you can see, I'm playing the video of what the game was or is. There's different
Is
things
this
as
your
to you're
gameplay
looking at.
for the record?
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
actual what I saw when I was playing.
Okay.
It is a video, but yeah, like the ships, the deck
I
of the
mean,
ship,
it's
like
still
what
YouTube.
I'm.
Yeah. So I was just making sure because, um, yeah, Twitch and YouTube have both been like, and Facebook have all been kind of getting down on people re-uploading content that isn't theirs, even if it's like in this environment where we're talking about it.
Oh, I
So
got you.
just wanted to
Oh
let you
no,
know.
gotcha. No, no. So this is not my gameplay. This is just the gameplay of the game. There's
Yeah,
no
I
names. It's the trailer of the game, but still, it's
okay. The
yeah,
trailer, that's a different story. The trailer, can't
yeah.
get away from
It's not a yeah. It's not a streamer's gameplay. It is the trailer for the game, the advertisement for the game, so you can see what the gameplay looks like. But um, there's so much to this game, but it has to be relied on as out in the general public. You have to have time to kill. You know, my ship, I could be a level 12 or 20 or 50, and my ship is going to be this really big, gaudy, amazing ship. And you could be starting the game and your ship's this little dinghy. But my understanding is if you're a pirate and I'm a pirate, we don't fight. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I've figured out or how I've like seen this. So I've seen other pirates on the water, and I'm not shooting at them. I'm shooting at PC. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that's gonna work. The player versus the player versus the computer. But I haven't had the player versus player interaction. I don't know if there is one. But it's a lot of fun if you have the time to kill. But it's very tedious and very the same. So if you want a variety and difference, this probably not your game.
yeah. So real quick, I've made this comment before. This has nothing to do with what you just talked about. This someone just came in my chat and was basically advertising like um, a service
Oh
to
yeah.
low level channels. Like, hey, they don't want to bother you, but here's this service. Like chat bots and how we can get viewers and followers. I'm gonna promote your channel. Please do not leave that shit in my chat. Do not come to my channel with that shit. I am not interested. Never have been. Never will be. I am not that desperate. Um, I find that kind of shit very offensive and insulting. I've been doing this a long time. I know when to see scams and when to avoid them. Yeah, just go fuck yourself with that shit. Anyways, moving on. It really bugs me because, like I said,
I don't
I've been
blame
doing
you.
this a long time, and I understand I've got a small channel. I'm very aware of how small my channel is. It's something I plan to change here in the near future. However, um, I don't. If I wanted someone's help, I know who to contact. I've got some friends in high places. If I really wanted to get my channel over, I don't take advantage of that friendship because I'm not a douchebag. So yeah. That being said, I'm still not gonna fucking use your goddamn cheap ass services that really are just fuck yeah. Moving on. Now that I got that out
All
of the
right.
system.
Next topic. Next topic.
Yes, very much so. So did you see the Super Bowl?
Oh, I did. Did you?
Yes, I did. And
I
unfortunately,
watched
so
it
hold on.
play by play.
I have to tell you the story real quick. So we're sitting here watching the Super Bowl. It's me and Kim. We're watching it. And at that point in the game, it was about to go to the end of regulation time. And Paramount Plus decides it doesn't want to work properly anymore because that's how we're watching the game, and it starts to glitch out right as they're getting ready to go into
Oh.
overtime. We were able to get it kind of working again, and we were able to see the finale of the game. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, this has been a recurring problem. And in a side note to this, I don't know if you've heard about this recently, but there are talks between Peacock and Paramount Plus of merging the two services into one. I won't lie, I would kind of like that simply because Peacock's streaming service is much better. And after the experience I had watching the Super Bowl, yes, I would love this because then it won't be a total shit show anymore. I try to use Paramount Plus to watch a bunch of different shows, but it is crap. I don't use it on like a PlayStation or anything like that. I use it through Amazon Fire Stick. So I don't know if it's the Amazon Fire Stick that's the issue or it's the TV or what, but it really fucking sucked that that happened during the Super Bowl. That being said, before we talk about the end of the game, which um I have to talk about the technical issues during Usher's halftime show and how, man, I don't know what happened. I mean, you got to think they rehearsed for
I can
at
tell you
least
what
2
happened.
weeks.
I read the story.
What happened?
So, you know how every single person in the industry of action or TV or whatever, every actor, they have a bad agent, they're told, lie. Everybody does it. So, the girl lies. There is a girl, and she lies on her application for roller skating. She knows how to roller skate, but she says she's very good. Clearly, that is not the case. Everybody else who was there was very good. She was not. So that's what happened. Is she simply lied and found out that you don't lie on your fucking application. It's like going to an employer and saying, "No, I've never been arrested for a
Are we talking
felony."
about the chick that played the guitar?
No, I'm talking about roller skating.
I don't understand where that's coming from.
Oh, so you don't know about that? Okay, you do yours, and then I'll explain
So
what
I was
happened
talking about the
on the one that
audio
I know.
issues that Usher had at the start of his performance and through the majority of his performance. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah,
His
that's different.
audio,
Go ahead.
yeah, he had severe audio issues throughout the entirety of his performance, which really sucked. I don't know if it was just on Paramount Plus or if it was affected everywhere else, but
It had to
yeah,
be just on Paramount Plus because we had zero problems.
yeah, we could barely hear it. Like, and I'm
Oh
we're
yeah,
using the TV speakers, so yeah, it was fucked. Like, there was a lot of people that were complaining about how they couldn't properly hear him. You could hear everyone else fine. Usher, no, it was
okay,
always
that I don't know what that
like you
was
could
because we
barely
watched
hear
it
him.
on TV. Like we watched it on TV, and we had zero problem with Usher.
Yeah, so I know about this. Everyone who used a streaming service, other than like I'm trying to think, like if you used a streaming service that used the actual broadcast channel, then you were fine. But if you use like Paramount Plus or whatever else was exclusively streaming the Super Bowl, you got a feed where Usher's mic was super low.
Hmm.
So he barely came in. You could hear him, but you were hearing more of the building and everyone else's mic and not his. That part sucked. Other than that, I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it wasn't a bad performance. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, this is completely new to me. I didn't know about this.
All
Go
right.
on. Now I want to hear about it.
So during the halftime show, you remember when he came out on roller skates?
Uh huh.
Um, so did. Oh wait. Oh no. There we go. So did all of his background dancers and everything.
Uh huh.
Um, apparently there was a girl who actually lied on her application to be a part of the halftime show 3 years ago. Said she was a great roller skater, and everybody came out and did their thing. Well, during the performance of coming out, everybody turned and did like a circle on the stage, and she went off the edge of the stage and straight to the ground. She got a black eye and everything else that goes along with falling off a stage. And
That's funny.
yeah, she said her upside was that she got to meet Taylor Swift and the girl that Taylor Swift was with. I don't remember her name, but I mean, I'm not a big
She's
celebrity
Diana.
person, so I really don't give a crap. I
Yeah.
watched the game for the game. I
I,
didn't give two craps that Taylor Swift was in the stands rooting for her boyfriend. You know what I mean?
so
Like, come on.
I won the Taylor Swift pool because at my work, one of my coworkers like I wonder how many times they're gonna put Taylor Swift up on the screen. And someone made the comment like, "Hey, you should start a pool and see what happens." So everyone got a little square. It was a $20 buy-in. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm bored." So I bought into it. I ended up winning $100, and I'm like, "Dude, this is awesome!" Like,
I mean, she
I
only
thought it was
made it on the
hilarious
screen
how many
like
times
4
they showed her
times.
though. They showed her enough times that yeah. On our
Yeah.
end, we saw her a lot. I think we saw her more than we saw some of the plays.
Really? See,
Yeah,
on the TV feed, they only showed her like 4 times. And we actually made that comment. We were like, oddly enough, they're not showing Taylor Swift very much. It's kind of nice to see that they're actually showing the game and not who's in the fucking stands.
yeah, no, they showed Taylor Swift like 20 sometimes on the version I was watching, and that's the
Yeah.
version that the guy was counting. And
Okay.
so, yeah, um, I won the pool. I was like, "Yay, money!"
Yeah,
But
that was
yeah,
not the
it was
case.
yeah, the streaming service. If you were getting the streamed version of the Super Bowl, you got a pretty crappy version. If you were watching the broadcast version of the Super Bowl, you probably got a much better version.
See,
Um,
we had the Paramount Plus in the kitchen and us in the living room on the TV, like on the regular channel. And I didn't hear any audio issues between the two. But at the same time, I wasn't listening for the kitchen. I was only listening to the TV one, and I had surround sound on, so it was what
yeah.
it was.
So, well, from my
Um,
understanding, that was one way to get a better audio. If like you were just using your bass speakers, you were pretty much fine because the whole performance was intended to be done in a surround sound or with a speaker bar or something, and that's just not how my house is currently set up. So it is what it is. I still though the show his performance it wasn't bad, but you would think for someone who's been wanting to do the halftime show, they would have gone just a little bit more like I don't know, something about it just felt off. I don't know if it's the fact that I could barely hear him that threw it for me, but it just yeah. I was kind of expecting a little more. I'm glad Beebs didn't show up because that'd have been fucking shit show of shit shows. Um, but other than that, I was happy with I was happy for him. I thought it was a good show from what I could see and make out. But I was expecting just a little bit more considering this is something
I
he's worked for a long time. So,
yeah. You
but
want to hear
that's
something
just
really funny too? Is that when it came to the uniforms, I honestly thought the 49ers were going to be in red and the Chiefs were going to be in black. That's what I was expecting. So when the
yeah.
game started and the opening scenes and all this stuff, and I'm seeing red, 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 and I'm like, okay, cool, the 49ers are in red, but I wasn't paying any attention to the logo or the players' names. I was just looking at the color of the jersey. And then all of a sudden I saw red with what's his face? The quarterback for the Chiefs.
Hmm.
God damn it, I forgot his name.
And it doesn't matter.
All right.
I
Anyway, so
yeah.
yeah, I saw him in red and I was like, "Wait a minute, why are both teams in red? That's not cool. Why are both teams in red? That's so dumb. They shouldn't allow that." And then all of a sudden I saw the 49ers and I'm like, "Oh, it's because I'm dumb. Niners are in white. Cool." So retarded. Yeah.
The legend's gonna fly on the wall for that one. Anyways,
Oh my god.
I have a feeling John's dying laughing.
Dude, yeah.
Uh, so let's talk about the end of the game. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Before we jump into the end, I do want to say it was a real nail biter the whole game. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, cool, 49ers are up, cool, 49ers are up, cool, 49ers are up. The whole game. I'm like, yes, yes, yeah, because I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is root for Kansas City to get another fucking Super Bowl. I'm like, I'm not about it. Like 49ers are my team. They're local to California, so that's who I'm rooting
That,
for.
we go there. So as I was about to say, I'm a
Like
Cali guy.
I
I wanted the Niners to win, but
yeah, like I was wearing my Niners jersey. My son was wearing my other Niners jersey, and that's kind of how life goes.
so
And yeah,
so as I'm watching the game, like you, I'm excited. I'm happy. The Niners are winning. I'm like, yeah, Cali. And then halftime comes, and at that point, I'm like, I don't know why I just knew something was wrong. I have actually gone back and watched the entire Super Bowl just to see if my point was valid. I can't prove it, obviously. But when I rewatched it, I was watching for very specific things to happen. And it very much seemed like, especially when you watch over the overtime and that final run through or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the exact words are for the Kansas City when they finally got the ball. They'd been sandbagging the whole fucking game. They
I
were
mean,
slow
you
playing
think
everything.
so, but I'm not
No,
so
dude.
sure.
Like
So, like, my
the first
issue.
quarter, in the first quarter, they were out like legit in force. At the end of the first quarter, you look at the lineup change. They moved some people around and they took them out of the game. And they didn't put them back in until the start of the second half, and they were only in for half of the second half. They didn't come back out at the start of the fourth quarter. They didn't bring back out a lot of their starters until the overtime period had started and they were going down the field. So basically, you had a team that was essentially fresh versus a team that's been, you know, on the field playing the whole fucking game with a few substitutions here and there for injury reasons or whatever. Yeah, they got. I mean, I see it in video games a lot where someone sandbags. They slow play it. They drag it out. They knew the only way they were going to win against the Niners is if they slow played the fuck out of that game. That being said, I commend them on the rationale to slow play the game and to do what they did, but it's cheap, dirty tactics. You could see it on the quarterback's face throughout that final push. He knew they had it won. All they had to do was get the ball in the end zone, and that was it. And the Niners ate up so much time when they were doing their attempt that Kansas City was was rushing even more so because again, they're mostly all fresh. And it just you could see it. Like it was such a shit show at the end there. The Kansas City got the win. And that it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not butthurt because I'm a little butthurt.
Right.
But
So,
that
my.
was the worst ending to the Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Yeah, my issue was this. In the first quarter at the end, Roy's daughter came in talking shit that the 49ers were winning. The end of the second period, or the second quarter, she came in talking shit that the 49ers were winning. And I told her, I said, it's not over. Just stop. Like, the game is close. They've tied it up a couple times. Just leave it be. And then she came in again, and the Chiefs took the lead by the field goal. And I'm like, see, keep your mouth shut. You know, maybe they'll get it back. Maybe it'll keep going. And eventually, they did. The Niners got it back, and I was like, all right, cool. And then she came in talking shit. I'm like, bro, stop jinxing it. Just let it go. Let things happen. And then all of a sudden, boom, they block the extra point. Boom, they get a field goal. I'm like, fuck. Great. Shut up. Right? And then, like, just all this negative stuff keeps happening. I'm like, oh my God. This is so dumb. What is
Yeah.
happening right now? And then, all right, we're going into overtime. They got a field goal, right? They went up by 3, and then the Chiefs got the ball, right
And they
back,
walked it.
touchdown.
They
Yeah,
walked it
just
down the field.
touchdown.
They
And I
there
even
was
made the comment. I said, dude, don't say anything. Don't say anything because we watched the Chiefs legit march the ball down the field already once earlier this game. Just let the game play out. You know, I want to see a good game, and it was a great game. But so overtime happened. They got the field goal, and I said this, mind you, before the overtime started. I said, don't say anything. The 49ers got the field goal, and here she is in the living room. Hey, we got the field goal. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then they
Yeah.
marched it downfield, boom, touchdown, Chiefs win. And I fucking hate that so much. Not only because did they win, but she came in here rubbing it in every time the Niners got the lead.
Yeah.
Every time. I'm like, fuck.
So again, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl.
You know, downside real
They
quick,
now,
I have to root for them next year. You realize that, right?
that's all.
No team has ever got a three-peat.
I thought they did. They've
No.
won since. Well, they.
Nope. No team
So
has
I
ever had a
don't.
three-peat. We looked it up. We looked it up.
So here's the thing. I guarantee it's not going to happen. I will say this though. 2020 is repeating in so many ways right now. It's a little scary. Like it's actually very scary that 2020 is repeating itself. The only thing we don't have is a global pandemic going on right now. Thank
Yeah,
fucking
right?
God. However, that might change too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, 2020 is repeating itself because this was the game in 2020 and this was the outcome in 2020. We have two candidates for president, same ones as 2020. Yeah, I'm a little nervous, like a lot nervous. Because we do have some other stuff going on that's very similar to 2020. I will say this: at the start of the Super Bowl, I made the comment that I will know the outcome of the presidential election based on the outcome of the Super Bowl. I am pretty sure I know who's winning, unless specific things happen between now and when is it, like October? Yeah, I'm almost 100% certain who's going to win the presidency this year, and I'm not happy about it. Moving on, I will tell you off stream. That's all I'm going to say. You got real quiet. I'm a little nervous
I'm looking to see who ran for president in 2020.
now. Trump and
It was 4 years ago. Yeah, it had to be Trump and Biden. Duh.
uh,
It's only 2024, you dummy. Dude. Oh my god, bro.
At this point, it's academic unless he is completely incapable of running. I mean, he still has.
Biden was already incapable of running this whole fuck. Oh, whatever.
Who?
Biden.
No, Biden's not incapable of running. Trump, however, is off the docket in like 2 states. States he actually would have needed to win.
No, that's not what I'm saying. So, like, Joe Biden is. He has dementia. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how he's president right now.
If the doctors he's seen at the White House are saying he's fit to do his job, I don't know if I want to stand with that or not. In my personal opinion, he's an older guy. He's in his 80s. You know, it is what it is. But there is no other Democratic candidates that are gonna get the nod. And if it doesn't, if someone doesn't stand up real fast, like I think the cutoff for who's gonna be in that presidential race is coming up real soon. As of right now, it's gonna be the incumbent. Like he's already said he's gonna run again. But Donald Trump, on the other hand, is kind of in a loser, like he's already in the losers bracket because two of the states he needed to win have already stripped him because of the insurrection, have already stripped him from being eligible for being on the ballot. So even if he does get the nod and he's the Republican candidate, he will not be on the ballot in those two states, period. You can write him in, but the state won't acknowledge it simply because
Yeah, they don't acknowledge write-in votes.
They never have. They never will.
Right.
That being said, there's zero chance the outcome is going to be any different than what I assume it's going to be. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who's winning, and it's not who you think I might be thinking. Like I said, I'll tell you off stream. I'm not going to say it on stream right now. But moving on.
2020.
I want to not talk about politics ever again.
Yeah.
On stream.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I honestly I didn't even know that the Chiefs and the 49ers were the Super Bowl of 2020. Like you
Kansas
said
City
that.
won that game.
Yeah,
Kansas
you
City
said
won
that,
that
so I
game
just looked it
by
up and I'm
the
like, "What?
exact
Oh
same
shit."
score. By the exact
No,
same score.
it wasn't the exact same score.
Wasn't?
No. So, hold on. Pretty close, but no. 2020 Super Bowl, it was 20-31. So they won by 11.
So they won by 11. Yeah. So it wasn't a 4 point difference like this
No,
year.
and it would have, yeah, no, it would have been, actually, I think it would have been a 3 point difference this year, right? Wasn't it three?
No, because they were even. They got the touchdown. And they were given the
No, it was
automatic.
three.
They were given an automatic
22,
extra point.
no, the final score is
No.
22-25.
So that was 3. Okay, yeah. So I thought they
Yeah.
were granted the automatic extra point.
Well, the extra
So
point's never automatic. They have to kick the damn ball.
unless there's a penalty, like during the final play, in
It's
which
still
case,
never automatic.
hmm,
I've
I just
never
remember
seen
that
an
call.
automatic point. No, I have to look it up, you bastard.
Don't worry about it. We're moving on anyways. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is something that I know you're not super into anymore. I know you used to be back in the day, but we do have some people that watch us because I do mention this shit time to time. I want to talk about what happened the week of the Super Bowl when the WWE had, you know, I mention it now, and I kind of want to touch on it. The whole Vince McMahon stuff. Have you been paying attention to any of that or seen any of that
No,
as you're as you're
no.
viscerally looking up the extra point thing?
No, no. I don't know shit about anything right now.
So here's the synopsis of what's happened over the last several weeks. Vince McMahon was accused once again of a boatload of crap, and I'm not saying that it's crap. I'm saying it's just a lot of stuff. He was accused of sex trafficking, of rape, a bunch of other wonderful things by a former employee. This former employee had signed a bullshit NDA with Vince. He was supposed to pay her X amount of money in order to keep her mouth shut. She didn't pay her the full amount because he started to get investigated because he was paying her. Ultimately, she decided to go public with the whole situation, and now he's looking at a massive list of things that, yeah. And in this, Brock Lesnar unofficially has been accused of being part of this whole situation, along with the former head of talent relations, Johnny Laurinaitis, or John Laurinaitis. So all that's happening. Vince is still, when this first starts, he's still on the board at TKO. This is right before the Royal Rumble, so back in January. And literally the day, like, yeah, the day before the Royal Rumble, he announces that he's stepping down. Well, that's because the guy who owns Endeavor and who basically is the owner of the group that owns WWE now, flat out told Vince, "You need to go because you're costing me money. You're going to cost us all kinds of shit. You fucked up. Go away." And so Vince officially stepped down and steps away and has been formally cut off from the company. Like he's no longer in any way, shape, or form associated with them. Um, Company's getting sued still, regardless. Vince is being sued. John Laurinaitis is being sued. It's a whole shit show. And as time has gone on since the initial lawsuit was made public, all kinds of fun things have come out. A lot of fun things, and it sucks to hear about this stuff and to hear it from women that work for that company, to hear that they felt forced into these situations. But I take everything with a grain of salt because I'm always, 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 always. It's not a matter of I don't believe you. It's I believe you. I'd believe you more if I could see the proof that you have that indicates this actually did happen. Simply because this isn't the first time this has happened, and I guarantee it won't be the last.
Right.
Now, yesterday, I'm checking one of the websites I go to for wrestling news, and there's a law firm that's come out. And you know those commercials where, have you had this happen? Have you had this happen? Have you had this happen? You might be entitled to compensation. That came up, and I'm all, I was wondering how long that was going to take. So to me, this whole situation has kind of gotten a little comical now. It's still a sad, depressing situation, and it does affect things going forward for the WWE because they're having a hell of a fucking hot period right now, and this is just tarnishing anything anyone does in that company simply because Vince is a douchebag.
Huh.
Moving on and back to what I originally want to talk about. So the week of the Super Bowl, the WWE held a special press event to announce the main events for WrestleMania, more or less. And while most of the matches were not official, there was one that was made 100% official. Well, The Rock was supposed to come back and fight Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, but Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, had won the Royal Rumble just a few weeks prior to this. And it appeared as though he was giving his spot to The Rock so The Rock could challenge Roman for the title. Well, at the press event, Cody came out and said, no, 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 no. That's my spot. I'm taking the match. It's going to be you versus me. And he says this to Roman Reigns. Well, while he's doing that, he makes some comments. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you've seen any of it, but he makes some comments and The Rock comes up and slaps the shit out of him. And it was an interesting event. It definitely got me hyped up for WrestleMania this year. I think that's what the intended purpose of the whole thing was. It definitely has built a lot of excitement and anticipation to see what's going to happen and what's going to play out. But
Sure.
I mean, you know me, I'm still a wrestling fan. Sometimes it's hard to watch the product, but it's gotten better with Vince not at all involved anymore. Like the stories actually have continuity now.
Yeah. No,
You
I
don't
mean
have
when I heard the people were taking over, like Triple H was taking over, and some of the people who were involved in the original stories when Vince was there, it makes sense that the stories would get better because from firsthand experience of me being in any employment, me putting in all this work, like your bosses run things a certain way, well it works, but when you see it firsthand of okay, this doesn't work anymore. It may have worked then, but it doesn't work now. You have that slight curve to your knowledge that says I can put this curve into play and put what works back into this game. So it'll round back up and shoot back to the victory side. So it makes sense to me that the stories got better. Like I heard that and I rather enjoyed that knowledge.
I would say the match quality has also gotten good. Like, we don't get a lot of the same lame, matches. Like the matches are actually more entertaining now to watch, to the point where my soon-to-be wife, who is not a wrestling fan, actually enjoys watching these large events because right now that's the only time we get to watch them. She enjoys watching them. She has her favorites. She cheers for Bianca Belair. That's her. Oh my god, she freaks out for that girl. It's fun. It's fun to watch her. Like as a guy who's been watching this since I was a little kid to now 41 years old, about to get married, to watch my soon to be wife getting excited about wrestling is kind of cool. Does she want to
Yeah.
sit and watch the product with me every single week? Oh, fuck no. But she does enjoy the big events. And so while we were watching this, completely going off task at this point because I'm very much assuming you didn't see the press event, so you don't have any opinions on what happened and whatnot, right?
No.
Yeah. So they announced during the Royal Rumble that there's a new show coming to Hulu that focuses around Bianca Belair. She saw that and was like, "When does this start? I want to watch this." And I'm like, "Fuck me, that's another thing I got to watch with you now." But I don't mind because I like the behind the scenes stuff. I don't like reality television because a lot of it is storylined and fake. But this, from all indications, is literally just a documentary of Bianca Belair and her husband's life because they're both wrestlers for WWE.
Right.
And so I'm kind of interested to see if that is in fact what it is, or if it is another reality TV show. Because if it is, I'm gonna lose all interest. She will love the fuck out of it because she loves those kind of shows. She loves reality TV. She will watch all of the reality TV show programs that's on Netflix. And so yeah, more power to her. But yeah. She gets me to watch Amazing Race. I can watch that because yes, there is some television elements to the show, but ultimately it's more of just a documentary of these people competing in a race. And it's fun to watch, but I can't.
Is WrestleMania still held in Madison Square Garden?
It hasn't been in a few years. I thought it would
Okay.
have gone back there this year, but this year it's in Philly.
Okay. Speaking of
But they
Philly,
still
my
do
wife's
shows.
going to Philly. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's I think it's the last week of March. It's not in April like it normally is. It's early.
Nope. It says Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th.
Oh, then I don't know where I saw that then. Must have
I
been
don't
something.
know,
Oh,
but that's
Easter
weird.
something. I think Easter.
Why is it 2 days?
It's been 2 days since the pandemic.
Really?
Yep, since the pandemic, it's been they do it two
Huh.
days as opposed to one. And so the reason why they initially went to 2 days is because
Trying to make up some of that
well,
money.
it wasn't so much the money because it's a PLE, so it's a premium live event. If you have Peacock, you get it essentially for free. You pay $9 a month for Peacock plus a small additional for WWE programming, and you get it for a hell of a lot cheaper than if you bought it on pay per view. You can still get it on pay per view, but why when you can get it for so much cheaper? And
Yeah, well,
so,
I mean, like, I have Peacock, but I don't get the WWE stuff. I don't pay that little premium for it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's not super expensive. It's worth it, at least in my opinion.
yeah,
Um,
I would say you have to be a wrestling fan to think it's worth it.
yeah, unfortunately, to some degree. Although WWE going to Netflix, which was another thing announced at right before the Royal Rumble, literally the day before, or the same day that Vince got these allegations dropped, was the day that WWE announced it's next January. Monday Night Raw will be live on Netflix every week, along with additional programming exclusive to Netflix going forward. And when the license with Peacock ends, all of WWE's programming, past, present, future, will all be on Netflix until like fuck, it's gonna be a while. So it'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting set of it's an interesting time as a wrestling fan because WWE is starting to finally fire on all cylinders like they used to back in the day. And it's hard not to get excited for stuff. But when you have this other real world shit happening in the background, it's moved into the foreground now. It's like that sucks. Because it takes away from what's happening. It takes away from the enjoyment because in the back of your mind you're like, this was an issue, this is an issue, and this is not, they're not touching on it on TV for obvious reason, but there's people that are demanding answers because that's the world we live in, you know, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Regardless, I'm excited for WrestleMania. This Saturday is the Elimination Chamber um, premium live event, and I'm excited for that. Unfortunately, I am not getting up at 4 in the fucking morning to watch it because they're doing it in Australia. So I will watch it when I get home from work Saturday, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch it live. Fuck that.
Dude, I'm looking at some of these pictures going through, like, a couple of, like, the wrestling stuff, and one thing I've just seen that rather is kind of amusing to me is Brock Lesnar. Um he went from this just fucking wall of a man, buzz cut, clean cut, to the Nordic braid mohawk plus beard. I'm
hmm
like, what the hell? Like, the dude looks like a completely different dude.
Yeah,
He's still
he
yoked
used
as
to be.
shit. He's still a wall, but now he
Oh yeah,
looks like a normal human that is just like, don't fuck with me.
it just sucks the that's a part of the story that's come out regarding Vince and that whole situation that Brock got dropped in there. I don't know if that because at this time officially the individual that was referenced has not been made has not been formally accused in any way shape or form, but the fact that this person's name was dropped in the lawsuit I know big part of that is due to the fact that this person is very close friends with Vince, and so I don't know. I don't want to be a skeptic and say that the timing of this seems very, convenient, but it does. So I don't know. You know me, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but it's hard not to have that thought in the back of my head like timing of all this is just yeah, who knows.
Yeah.
Regardless, um I'm excited for WrestleMania. I'm excited for the Elimination Chamber. I'm excited to see where the WWE and wrestling as a whole go. That being said, if you watch AEW programming, good luck because I tried. I really did. I can't follow it. None of it makes sense. Sting's last match is supposedly happening again, and I'm like, didn't he already have like his last match like 4 times now? I mean, he
I
is
thought
friends
he
with
had it
Flair.
when I was
Like,
still watching fucking wrestling.
yeah, like
So
that's the thing that's funny is that he and Ric Flair are so buddy buddy that they've had multiple retirement matches. Um, but apparently this is Sting's definitive last match. And I'm sorry, I've watched him wrestle recently. I would rather him not go to AEW at all and just go out the way he did. Yes, it was a shitty way to go out, but at least he was still somewhat good in the ring. I mean, he had a hell of a match with Triple H that year at WrestleMania. And then, yeah, he had a tragic accident that happened at a show. He got a power bomb and basically broke his neck. Um, but instead of, staying retired, and not risking, tarnishing his image, he got back in the ring. And I've seen one or two of those matches. Yeah,
I get
no,
you.
no, no.
I get you. Oh,
All
all
right.
right.
So there's one last thing. I'm just making sure I'm still streaming it. Yeah, okay. Um, so before we go, I'm gonna be in San Diego in about 2 weeks.
All right.
While I'm there, my family currently does not know I'm coming. I'm almost positive no one from my family is watching this stream. If they are, fuck you guys. Um, well, my nieces and nephews should be at school. My brother definitely doesn't watch this stream, and if he does, he'll let me know soon enough. But my plan currently is to try and surprise them. While I'm there, I'm going there primarily to deal with my storage locker and get that issue resolved once and for all to some extent.
Right.
Um, but while I'm there, I'm going to be there for about a week. I would really like to do the podcast with you, same room, one camera, and then edit it in some way that it looks good for streaming or for YouTube or whatever. And if you're down, I'd like to do that. Like I'd like to do 2 episodes, one for like maybe do one live, I don't know, and then do one taped so that way when I come home, I can do what I'm intending to do, which is nothing. Cuz I guarantee I'm going to be hurting after this week. So, yeah, but I do want to get back to doing this regularly as much as possible, doing the show and streaming again. So, yeah, would you be down to do that?
I mean, anything's possible. It just depends on when you're going to be here and what I have that I need to do. But I don't see
So,
why not.
so if we were gonna do it, like I would probably do it on like the day we do it on now. We'd do it on Tuesday. Um, so yeah, um, I'll touch base with you more about it as like the time comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's my plan. And
Yeah, I don't honestly I don't see a problem with it. I don't know if we'll be on like a camera or if I'll set up my tripod and do Streamlabs on my phone and we can do it like somewhere specific with a natural backdrop behind us.
I
Um
mean, what we could do if I can get it, I'm gonna try and acquire a mount for my phone. Even if we just film it and then I send you the cut version with the logos and everything embedded in the video,
right.
so that we can like simulcast stream it, whatever. Um, we may have to take a week off if we do that, but we would have 2 weeks already in the can.
Right.
And I mean, we could also do just throwing ideas in there. We could just go drive around and edit it together and do like an edited version of the podcast where we're just going to various places that we frequented when we were younger, and some of the dumb shit we did, we could reminisce about that. I mean, we've talked about some of this stuff on the podcast before. I mean, without giving any specific locations, obviously, like we can't go to the place where you and I first really met because, yeah, I'm pretty sure they would not be too happy to have that put on a video. But I mean, we can figure something out. We can go to lunch or something. I don't know. We'll figure all that out as we get closer. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought I'd ask you about it while I had a chance. And I could have done it off stream, but I wanted to let our audience know that for sure the week of March 10th, we won't be doing the podcast for sure. Maybe the week after we will. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, because I won't be here, and I don't know how we're gonna set that up. We'll have to figure that out. But we'll let you guys know. Until then, though, that's it.
Word. Yeah. Again, yeah, just keep me informed as to when you're coming, and I think it'll be fine. It's just a matter of what, like I said, my days off at work are, and
Yeah,
what I have going on.
yeah.
But yeah,
So I'll definitely reach out like the day I leave, so that way for sure. Um, and then we can see what that week has free for you. But yeah, I'm supposed to fly in right now. Plan is for me to fly in on the 10th early in the morning. Fuck man, the flight is at 5:20 in the morning from here.
yeah,
It's a 4.5 hour flight with a layover, and I'm
wow,
like, dude, I wish the nonstop flights were already started. They don't start till after my wedding, which sucks donkey balls. And they're not even to San Diego; they're to LA. But I mean, even when I have to include all the costs to take the train or whatever I got to do to get from LA to San Diego, it's still going to be cheaper than this flight to and from Billings to San Diego now. A
yeah.
lot cheaper. So, but yeah. Other than that, the only other thing I wanted to touch on is that did you get the email, by the way?
I'm gonna say no, but I'll look right now again.
I don't know. I gave it to her. She was supposed to have sent it. It was supposed to come from I'll tell you off stream, but
Yeah,
yeah,
hold on. Uh,
do 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 do.
is it for a
So
baby
while he's doing
shower?
that, huh?
Is it for a baby shower?
No, definitely not.
Oh, here we go. I think this is it. I got two. Are they the same?
One of them might have been because we changed some stuff. She went back and forth on certain elements. For those wondering, I'm talking about the the wedding that I'm having May 11th. Um, why I decided to share that, I don't know. But anyways, Grizzlies Jimmy G is going to be in the wedding. He's one of my groomsmen. He's like a brother to me. He's one of the few people on this earth I want at my wedding. Um, so yeah, it's the suit rental we're talking about for those that feel they need to know what's going on. Anywho,
Yeah. So
so
this suit looks almost exactly like a suit I have, except for it has a vest.
yeah, that's the only difference. I
Yeah.
mean, it's up to you. She she's being real picky about things. So,
No,
um,
it's fine. Like I'll be there to do the
so
suit,
the thing
rent it, and
is,
all that. I just need
so
to.
we have a tie. She bought ties that she wanted very specific.
Okay.
Um, so that will be part of the of what you're wearing. So it's
Yeah.
the vest, it's the suspenders, the pants, the shirt, and then she got the tie separate that you get to keep. I think I'm assuming that's what the
Well,
deal
whether I say, well, I'm keeping it, whether she wants me to or not, she's shit out of luck.
is.
Like, you don't buy a tie for a wedding and then expect them to get them back. Like, that's not the
I
case.
wasn't expecting it
Um,
myself, but she hasn't officially stated that you guys can
yeah.
keep them. And like, we're not going to be able to return them. So,
No,
um,
no, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you is she doesn't have a choice when it comes to me. If she says, make sure you get that tie back, she's shit out of luck because I'm not giving the fucking tie back.
that's
My
fine.
wedding, I bought ties for everyone so that way everybody had the same colors. We all matched.
Yeah,
It was the color of my wedding, and everybody kept their tie.
yeah.
I kind of wish I bought myself one, but I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, her mom bought me a tie, and as we get closer to the wedding, you guys, I will talk about all of that stuff. But for now, um, that's gonna do it for us in this week's episode. I'm gonna go play some Call of Duty Zombies, and um,
I'm gonna go
you have
drop a
a good one.
deuce.
You have fun with that, sir.
Anyway, so real quick though, before we like cut off, I
Hmm.
wanted to um make a comment about this suit, or actually, we can call it, and I can ask you a question off the air. I don't care either way. But
Okay.
I need to ask a question about this suit. Am I picking it up and bringing it there on my flight, or am I getting it there?
If you want, you can go get sized at your local shop, and then have the address set here. So you just pick it up here. It's up
Okay.
to you. It's completely up to you. Eric's getting his. I think they're gonna pick theirs up before they come
Yeah.
because it'll be in.
Right.
But I don't know if that's 100% because they're not supposed to come in until literally like 3 or 4 days before the wedding. So you may want to just have them drop it here so you just pick it up.
I'd say if it's 3 or 4 days before the wedding, I would have to have it sent there because I'm going to be there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like you said, your
So
bachelor party's on Thursday. I will be there on Wednesday, landing Wednesday night. So I'll be there Thursday for the bachelor party. Um,
the rehearsal on
the
Friday.
rehearsal, yeah, the wedding on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm flying home.
Yeah,
So
one of her
we'll
big
be there.
things. So real quick before we go off into that, one of her big things is the day after she wanted to do pictures, and I'm like, you realize some of these like my people aren't going to stick around, and
No,
she's
I
like,
can't.
why not? And I'm all, you might get
School.
my brother to stay, but yeah, like, you know. And she's all, well, I mean, we're gonna just. I'm like, we can go do pictures, and anyone who stays stays. Like she has people on her end who aren't staying, who aren't going to go to do the pictures. And so I
Right.
told her, I was like, you're gonna have to be okay with that because we can't control that.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'm like,
like
there's no
pictures
but.
pictures should be done the day of the wedding. Like
Well,
that's
no,
when you do
so
your pictures is like you do
so
your wedding, you say your I do's, everybody leaves, and then while they're setting up for the rehearsal, people are doing photos, or you go to where the dinner is, not the rehearsal, but the
reception,
after
yeah,
the
yeah,
reception.
no, I know. No, the thing is, she wanted to get wedding pictures done at a site that holds significant meaning to her. And I was all for it. I was like, fine, I will gladly do that with you. But as far as others go, you can't force that issue for them. They have lives, they have things. And she's like, I get that, but I definitely want your brother there. And I'm like, I will try and make that happen. Eric has said if he can, he will stay to do the pictures, but then as soon as that's done, he's gone. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not going to ask you to do that because I know you're going to be on a much tighter deadline than my brother because he's driving up. So he could leave pretty much whenever he wants. Um, I know you're on a flight. So I've already told her that you probably wouldn't stick around, but it's a maybe depending on what time we did it. It's a big fucking maybe. But again, she's planning shit and changing it and planning shit and changing it and it's like
Yeah, like I'm down to do whatever you need to do to be done as
yeah,
long as I'm available to do it. Like I said,
I know.
I'll be there Wednesday. So if she wanted to do whatever on Thursday before the parties, then do whatever on Thursdays before the parties. If you want to do whatever on Friday before the rehearsal dinner, do it on Friday before the rehearsal dinner. You can't do it on the day of the wedding if you need to go somewhere special. And the day after
Yeah.
the wedding is turning in
And
the
so the other thing,
tuxedo and getting on a plane to come home.
so that's the other thing. As far as that goes, like I'm gonna tell you right now, I plan on changing out of my suit as soon as we like get whatever pictures done. So if you want to get comfortable, please feel free to get comfortable. I'm
Oh, what
telling
you
you,
don't know
seriously,
about me is I'm a sexy ass fucking man in a suit. So if I'm in a suit, it will be comfortable. I promise.
I mean, to each their own. You don't have a jacket, by the way. I need to clarify that because Eric asked me the same thing last night. The only person wearing a jacket is me. I didn't want to burden you guys with that because that church, the heat in that church gets really bad because someone will set it and then
So
someone
it's a
else will change
button-up shirt, vest, and a tie.
a tie and then suspenders.
Well, the suspenders will be under the vest, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
So, um, but yeah, that's gonna do it for us, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We were a little all over the place, but more constrained than normal, maybe, kind of. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And if you watched my
But
stream, you got the little side picture of what was happening we were talking about. I did something new today.
but thank you guys for tuning in. We will attempt to be back next week. I don't want to say we will because reality is the way my life's been going. I don't know if I'm even going to be alive next week. So that's the truth, sadly, dude. With that, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, please let us know in the comments. Please like, share, favorite, all that fun stuff. We thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Until then, adios. Go drop a deuce, and I'm gonna go play Call of Duty Zombies, and then go wait for a delivery. That's the truth. I'm literally waiting on a delivery because I bought my nephew Borderlands 3 for the Switch for Christmas, thinking and of the belief that the game was crossplay,